Mhm. Let's go. Okay, let's make it up. Awesome. All right, let's go live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, world. Good morning, mindset mentorship community. Super awesome morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning for wherever you're tuning in from. This morning, we want to say welcome to this wonderful session of West Secret Mindset Mentorship, a class where we educate, enrich, and empower you mentally with the necessary information and resources to help you live the very best of your life. And we are super excited here this morning to be broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria, to reaching out to you wherever you are connecting from. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another wonderful morning. I want to say welcome. I can see some of my wonderful partner here. Phenomenal coach. Coach Dan is already in the house, all the way from Uyo. I hope you're back, Coach Dan. Are you back to Lagos?
I'm back to Lagos.
You back to Lagos? Super awesome. Nice. It's nice to have you back.
Thank you very much.
To celebrate you. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, it was a wonderful session with Coach Dan yesterday. You can see what it taught us about understanding, building your focus more. Many of us, we go through life without having a focus. We want to achieve goals. We want to achieve dreams and goals without we having a focus. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I held on yesterday, and part of the things we've been talking about here on this class, is that, whatever you focus on, you will succeed. Whatever you focus on expands, and whatever you don't focus on shrinks. And that's exactly what Coach Dan was able to, train on us yesterday. And thank you for what you do, Coach Dan. Amazing topic. I'm teaching yesterday. Phenomenon. More grace. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is another very interesting topic. And, I'm excited about what we want to teach here this morning. All through the night, yesterday, I was pondering over how do we reach out to our members? How do we reach out to people out there? What can we teach? Well, how can we impact people with something different, something that they know, but they don't really understand the dynamics of how it works? And that's exactly what we're talking about, the winning mentality. Ladies and gentlemen, the winning mentality. What is about the winning mentality? How do you get to understand what is called a winning mentality? Ladies and gentlemen, remember in our previous teaching, I used to teach and I say, mentality is everything. Mentality is how you're able to think, how you're able to process ideas, how you're able to, understand things and eventually bring out the best out of you, helping you to get the best out of how you're able to respond to things. One of the things my mentor used to say, he said, in building a winning mentality, you don't learn to react, you rather respond more. So winning people respond to things, they don't react to things. Don't let the situation around you cost you from changing who you are. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I really need to let us know this morning is that, a lot of us go through life, wondering and pondering about not really having a sense of direction. Many of us that are employed, gainfully employed in an organization, we are just looking for that job, not knowing that some of the job we've gotten or that we are being employed into is changing our personality. Some of us, we became a beast the moment we got in that job. Some of us, we don't have a sense of humanity again. Mr. Shola was teaching in the thriving part of life. He said something, he said, many of us, the moment we are the steering, especially if you live in this part of the world, Lagos, Nigeria, you don't know when you start cursing. You start seeing that driver, hey, your head is crazy. Oh, the Okada man, nobody is perfect. You are the only best guy driving. You allow the situation, you allow the things around you, your environment to change you, to dictate and to transform your personality, your being. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not how you build a winning mentality. To build a winning mentality, you must first, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, have what is called a positive mental attitude. How do you build a positive mental attitude? Very, very important. To build a positive mental attitude, you must first of all understanding what we call philosophy, which is the mindset. According to one of my mentors, he said philosophy is each person's philosophy is a major determining factor of how your life turn out to be. So if the person's major philosophy is what helps or that change or determines how your life turn out to be, that means that philosophy, you must guide it. That means you must have a very positive philosophy, and which is called the mindset. How do you develop a winning mindset, ladies and gentlemen? You start by, first of all, what you listen to, okay? What you listen to. What are the things you listen to? What are the information that you digest into yourself? Remember, in the word of some of these, or maybe regular sayings out there, they said garbage in, garbage out. Okay, you are a product of what you listen to. Somebody said when you work with 5 successful people and you are the number 6, you end up becoming the number 6 successful people. I mean, somebody will say, "Are you killing me?" Now that's the truth. Okay, how about you working with 5 billionaires? Now, what happened to you being the number 6 person? You're going to be the number 6 billionaire, right? Now, try 5 poor people, okay? People that doesn't have bearing for their life. Guess what happened to you being the number 6? Now, you're going to join the list, which is the number 6 poor person or poorer person. So you can imagine who you listen to. So it means that I better start no, not who you listen to. I better start listening to something positive. I better start, consuming something that is going to change my life. I better start reading that book, okay? I better start listening to the right information that is going to transform my life, the right information. I mean, Coach Dan used to teach this thing, some of these speakers, we got Mr. Ashola to also talk about it. Who you listen to. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, is your environment. Your environment, very, very key. When we say your environment, it doesn't mean your physical environment. It means that the people you also surround yourself with. So which means it has, a connecting link between the first point of who you listen to and then the environment. Because we say you are a product of your environment. Who or what kind of environment are you building around yourself? What kind of people did you associate yourself with? The kind of people you mingle with, the kind of friends you have around you, the kind of team you have around you. Are you the type that have allowed your environment to have dictate or determine your personality or determine who you are? You're not going to build a winning mentality like that. I need you to know that, truth be told, that as you are going through life will begin to change you. But don't let the life, the changing, the negative part of life have a major dominant over your life. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, for things to change around you, you must start changing yourself. He said, for things to change, you have to change. So start changing the kind of environment that you presently. When I say environment, it doesn't mean because you stay in your own physical environment. I mean the kind of people you work with. Now, another thing again, ladies and gentlemen, it is what we call, it is what we call the mentor. Who is mentoring you? Who do you listen to? Who do you take instructions from? Not like instructions, but who guides you? What are the guides you put around you? What kind of people or set of individual that that, oh man, I think this person have achieved the kind of result I want to achieve in my life, and then I need to listen to this person. Now, who is that person? You must identify with someone. Now, to me, I'll tell you my life story. When I was about getting involved in the industry in which I am presently, which is being a network marketing professional person, I think it was in 20 2012, right? 2012, right? And I was looking for who want to help me, who has achieved the kind of result that I wanted to achieve. So I went online to check out this particular young man. I was just searching online. I was searching online to look for that person that has achieved the goal. My first time in personal development, first time in understanding, becoming an entrepreneur. And I went online and I found this video of this man called David Imonite. By the special grace of God, have had a connection with this man that sometimes we talk on the phone, sometimes we chat, and he tells me, I send him private chat, he replied me, he understands me, he knows my family, but I didn't connect with him at first, okay? I went online. And I was looking for, I needed somebody that have achieved the kind of result that I needed. Then I went and I saw this man. He did some couple of videos, and I will never forget the winning formula, okay? The win formula. And on that win formula, this man did the video part 1, 2, 3. I watched it, I digested it, and I started emulating this man. And I started modeling after the way he's doing things. And I was praying that God connect me to this man in person. I never even knew he's a Nigerian American, but all I needed was that I was just looking for a way to connect with this particular young man that has achieved greatness, and the way he speaks, the way he talks, the way he entertaining the things he's doing. And I say, oh my God, this man has the kind of result. Ladies and gentlemen, some couple of years down the line, we got connected. By what? Through his book, through seminar, association, the things, activities, events, we got connected. And this man, ever since then, I've had a very good relationship with him. And, and I took him to be my mentor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, who you listen to. Another thing you need to also understand is, you need to also have you need to carry yourself in a very mannerable way. Okay, you need to learn how to appreciate yourself. That's what I mean. You need to learn how to appreciate yourself. Coach Dan spoke about this yesterday, and many people really don't take it very seriously. You need to appreciate yourself. Dress the way you want people to address you. You cannot just dress. He said something. He said, you cannot say you are climbing a ladder of success and then you are dressing the costume of failure. It is not possible. You want to become something, then start dressing in that way. Start acting it. Start dressing the way you want to be, the way you want people to call you. Start dressing. Don't let your situation change you. Don't let it be like, because I don't have some money right now, then I have to dress like I'm poor. No, that is not the way it is. Dress like you are rich. Dress like what you want to become. Dress the manner that you want to see yourself, so that when you stand in the mirror, you tell yourself, you know what, I think I'm going to, I think I look good. I think I deserve this. I think, and guess what? Because you start attracting it. You start attracting the better part of you. Things will start falling in place. Better people will start calling because they see you as somebody that, they're not, it's not by your situation, but they are seeing something that people think that they want to connect or from you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important. So to develop a winning mentality, there are some points or factors which you need to consider for yourself. Now, I wrote down a few things here. It said, becoming somebody of high character, okay? Becoming somebody of high character. That means you have to check yourself, okay? To have a winning mentality, you must have to check yourself. Check who you are. Check who you are at the moment. Don't be the kind of character that people don't want to associate with. Don't be the kind of person that people want to detach away from. Don't be the type that just you are interested in just using people and then dumping them. Don't be the type that bonds relationship, okay? Have a good character. The second one, ladies and gentlemen, that I wrote is integrity. You have to become somebody of high integrity, no matter what. Let me tell you something maybe you don't know. Everything of value, ladies and gentlemen, comes with a cost. What kind of cost? Because some of us, we want to become somebody of value, and then we're not willing to pay the price. You got to pay the price. everything of value comes with a cost. You know, for you to be somebody or to develop a winning mentality and to be that person that have that positive mentality every day of your life, then you must also have a very good integrity. Now, the part one or the third one, which I earlier mentioned, is to also have a positive mental attitude every day, no matter what. Know that you are winning. Don't let the situation, current situation, determines or change your person. Now, some people will say, how do you mean, Afolabi? I'll give you a simple example. And I used to tell my wife in the house, you know, sometimes, you know, you don't have money in your pocket, okay? You don't have money in your pocket. Maybe your bank account is very empty. And then somebody asks, hey, bros, how are you doing? You know, something, oh, man, can I get something? You said, oh, man, I don't have money. So please stop that thing. Don't say that. Instead of saying, I don't have money, tell yourself, say, oh boy, I think, I'm very rich at the moment, okay? I'm very rich at the moment. There's nothing wrong in saying that. People will look at you, very rich. Okay, if you are rich, give me some money. Okay, don't worry. I will let you know as soon as the money hits my account, okay? But I'm very rich at the moment. You don't need to say this. Watch what you say. Watch how you say these things, ladies and gentlemen. You know, people are talking casting now. You should be celebrating lifting up. That is what the Bible said. You know, tell people, you know what? When they say you're broke, you just say, no, I'm not broke. I'm just overcoming my cash flow problem. Okay, watch what you say. Develop a positive mental attitude. PMA. Very, very important. You know that that situation is not going to change you. You know that you're not going to be moved by whatever people say. Very, very important. And not also have what we call incredible work ethics. How do you have an incredible work ethics? Ladies and gentlemen, this is very simple. Incredible work ethics knows that, to be somebody of high character, to be somebody, a successful person, to ask, of course, when you have a winning mentality, it means that you're already a successful person. You have to have incredible work ethics. What are the things you do? Don't let, like we say, you don't just scan the day, make the day count. At the end of the day, come down, like we say, list building every single day. What have I achieved for today? What are the things I've been able to make out from today? Like today being Friday, the end of the week, the beginning of the weekend, okay? You need to know that it is still morning time. What are the things that I'm going to achieve today, okay? So write it, list it down, or maybe if you don't write it or list it down, at the end of today, write it down. What have I achieved today? Remember, let's get value out of the day every day. Do something of value. Let me tell you one of the things I congratulate you on advance, because one of the things you've been able to do is to be on this program. So it means being on this program is something of value. So congratulations. It is just one out of the things you have been able to achieve for the day. You develop a positive mental attitude and having incredible work ethic. So go out there and make it work. Also, the part one or the last two, what I'm going to talk about is pleasing personality, okay? You must have what I call a pleasing personality. Ladies and gentlemen, all these things I'm telling you, you're not going to see it anyway. Pleasing personality means that, you can tolerate, okay? You can tolerate anything. You can accept. Don't let people get you unnecessarily upset, okay? Don't just be quick to reacting. Like I told you, instead of reacting, start learning. Instead of responding, start reacting. You don't respond to things. Start reacting in a mannerable way. Somebody step on your toe, you are the type that, oh man, hey, you got what? You just change. You don't need those things. Any little thing, you just nag at it. A pleasing mentality has to be the mentality or a pleasing personality has to be that kind of person that can accept, accommodate, and that it's just, maybe it's just a mistake or it's just temporary, but because you have a winning mentality that's going to make you pass through it. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen, is, everything to make you have, to develop a winning mentality, it takes time. No, how do I mean? Somebody said, Afolabi, how do you mean by it takes time? It takes time, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time. It's not just instant, okay? It's not just going to be instant. It takes time to have that mentality. It takes time to build it. We understand where you're coming from. We understand that you are coming from a different background, a different understanding, but, it takes time. But how does it take time? And one of the things that could help you achieve it is to be on this program. Is to regularly, daily, Monday through Friday, to get yourself associated to be on this program. Don't take the things we're doing kindly. Don't take the things we're doing, with levity. Take it very importantly, because it takes time. It takes time for a child to start working because it takes time, progress. You know, it is like they say, success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea. It takes time to achieve that success. However, it has a relative meaning. You are growing. A child that is just give birth to a child, he has to go through crawling. He has to then, from crawling, you know, you start seeing him, he start starting to stand and erect himself and walk like normal human being. It takes time, ladies and gentlemen. Anything that anybody build or any successful people work and they know that it takes time, they know they're going to get there. And that is why we say that borrow in the picture of the future. It means that you must have the end in mind, but knows that this is what I want to become. I want to be a successful person no matter what. I want to be ahead. I want to be on top. I want to be the leader. I want to be this person. I want to become so person. Have that. Let that be the propelling factor. Okay. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that you have become somebody of value. You have become somebody that you know people are looking up to. That means that this person have changed. And let me tell you, the change, why it takes time, the change may not be that instant. But guess what? It's going to start by little change. Okay, little things will start changing around you. Maybe not the big thing, maybe the smaller things. You just see the way you do things, the way you respond to things, the way you react to things, the way you do things every single day, it starts changing. People start noticing, even your body will start reacting to this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, by putting all these points in order and you following the things we are sharing with you, ladies and gentlemen, I am so confident that you start seeing that change, and eventually you will be able to build what we call a winning mentality. A winning mentality sets you up there. It means that your philosophy is everything. You remember the word of Shakespeare that said, for everything good or bad, he said it's his thinking that has made it so. So thinking has to do how your thought is what we metamorphose into the things that will be happening in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful program again, and we hope you've been able to pass value to you. And guess what? Today is the beginning of the weekend. Friday, okay? Some people will say, thank God it's Friday. What are you grateful for? Start being grateful, start being thankful, because today is Friday. Don't just celebrate today, but as you are going out there for your daily activity, knows that I want to start developing what is called a winning mentality. And by so doing, you start seeing the miracle happening in your life. You may not believe in miracle, but guess what? The miracle is the discipline. And guess what? Every discipline affects every other discipline. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wonderful program again, and we hope we have been able to reach out to you. Let me call my partner here, Coach Dan. Maximize wealth. So let's feed him and let's get a party word, and then we'll call it a day.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Falabi. Thank you for this wonderful nuggets you just shared with us today. For me, it's been a loaded week. Okay, I just want to encourage every one of us, go back, sit down, listen to these videos over and over and over again, and put all of this into practice. And trust me, what you will see is the better version of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Falabi, once again. God bless you. You have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Lovely weekend, like you said, Coach Dan. Maximize Sweat, one of our top-notch personality in the house too. All the way from UK with no time difference, but we got you on this call today. All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Falabi. I appreciate you for the continuity. It's not easy, but for the sacrifices and all, you will be blessed highly and highly favored, because God rewards hard work and dedication. Thanks for everything, for being a phenomenal leader. Do not give up. Do not get discouraged. Keep pushing. And then, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be watching from. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend to every single one of us here, Wealth Secret Mindset Mentorship Community. Remember, you can join or subscribe to our YouTube page. we have the link. Join us and then see some of this video content. We encourage you to like, share, and then let somebody be encouraged, let somebody get value for participating or seeing or watching some of these videos. And then guess what? You have been able to impart your word eventually. And it doesn't cost you anything. Just like and share, okay? And subscribe to our bell button, all right? Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful weekend. Remember, don't just count the day, let the day count. How to build a winning mentality has to start from how you make the day count. Take care. We'll see you. To every one of us, all the members in this community, I want to say bye and have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, sir.
Bye.